Commander Jack Harlow stood at the window of the space station, watching Earth rotate slowly below. His reflection showed a man with hard eyes and a scar across his jaw. 20 years in Special Forces had taught him to expect the worst, but nothing had prepared him for this. "Commander, they're ready for you," said a young officer behind him. Jack nodded and straightened his uniform. A message had been clear: "Come alone, tell no one." The doors slid open to reveal a circular room. 7 aliens sat around a table, each different from the next. Some had scales, others tentacles. One glowed faintly blue. "Commander Harlow," said the tallest alien. Its skin was gray and leathery. "I am Ambassador Krell of the Galaxy Council. Thank you for coming." Jack took the empty seat. "Your message said Earth was in danger." "Direct, as expected from a human," said a small creature with 4 eyes. "We represent 32 species across this galaxy. For centuries, we have kept Earth hidden from a terrible war." Jack's hand tightened on the armrest. "Hidden? How?" "Deflection fields, false star maps. Sometimes direct intervention," Krell said. "We had good reason." A hologram appeared above the table, showing a star map. Red areas spread like a disease across one half. "This is Void Collective Territory," said a reptilian alien. "They've conquered 17 systems in the last decade. Billions dead. And you're telling me now because—" Jack asked. The aliens exchanged nervous glances. The blue glowing one trembled visibly. "Because humans are different," Krell said. "Your neural structure is unique. Your combination of creativity, aggression, and adaptability is unmatched. In combat situations, humans achieve results that terrify us." Jack leaned forward. "You're afraid of us?" "Yes," admitted Krell. "A single human platoon once defeated an entire Mechari battle group. The test subjects He stopped abruptly. "Test subjects?" Jack stood up. "You've been experimenting on humans?" "Limited observation only," Krell said quickly. "But the Void has been less fickle. They want humans as weapons." The reptilian alien pushed a data pad toward Jack. "This is footage from a human mercenary who joined a Void campaign." The screen showed a man moving through alien soldiers like water, each movement precise and deadly. The aliens fell before they could react. "One human," whispered Krell. "Just one." Jack felt cold. "Why tell me this now?" "Because they found you," said the 4-eyed alien. "Our deflection fields failed 3 days ago. Void scouts have already entered your solar system." An alarm blared. The hologram shifted to show 3 massive ships approaching. "Mars." "That's impossible," gasped Krell. "They shouldn't be here for weeks." The council members began shouting over each other. The blue alien's glow pulsed frantically. "Commander," Krell turned to Jack, mandibles clicking in distress. "Earth must remain neutral. If humans join this war, you'll become something terrible. The galaxy isn't ready for what you could do." Jack watched the ships on the hologram, already passing Mars. "Looks like we don't have a choice." "We didn't want this," the alien diplomat whispered, mandibles trembling. "You don't understand what you'll become if you join this war." 12 hours after the council meeting, Jack stood in the Pentagon war room. Screens showed the Void ships now orbiting Earth. World leaders argued through video feeds, while military officers shouted orders. "They're requesting a meeting," said General Winters, sliding a tablet to Jack. "And they asked for you by name." Jack read the message. "They want me to lead the welcome team?" "You're the only human who's met the council," Winters said. "That makes you our expert on aliens." Lieutenant Ryan Frost approached, combat gear already strapped to his muscular frame. "Team's ready, sir. 6 of our best." Jack nodded. "Let's go meet our visitors." The helicopter took them to a field outside Washington, where a small Void ship had landed. It was black and sharp, like a knife cutting into Earth's soil. "Stay alert," Jack told his team as they approached. "But no one fires unless I give the order." A door slid open in the ship's side. 3 figures emerged. They were tall, with pale skin that seemed to absorb light. Their eyes were completely black. "Commander Harlow," said the lead alien. Its voice sounded like 2 people speaking together. "I am Envoy Sarin of the Void Collective. We are pleased to meet humans directly at last." Jack kept his hand near his weapon. "You know who I am." "How?" "We've studied your species for generations," Sarin said, "just as the Council has." "Did they tell you they've been keeping us apart?" "They mentioned it," Jack said. Saran made a sound like quiet laughter. "Did they tell you why? Did they show you what humans can do?" Frost stepped forward. "They said we're good fighters." "Good?" Sarin's black eyes widened. "You are magnificent. Your minds work differently. You see patterns others miss. You adapt instantly. You feel fear yet act anyway." Jack watched Sarin carefully. "What do you want from us?" "Alliance," Sarin said simply. "The Council fears your potential. We wish to help you reach it. We offer protection, technology, and knowledge. In exchange for soldiers," Jack said. Sarin nodded. "The Council has kept you primitive. Look at your weapons." He gestured at their rifles. "We can give you ships that travel between stars in days. Medicine that cures any disease. Energy that never runs out." Frost whispered to Jack, "Sir, we should consider this." If they're offering advanced tech, a second ship appeared in the sky, sleek and silver. Council markings. "They're here," Jack said. The Council ship landed, and Ambassador Krell rushed out with 4 guards. "Commander Harlow, do not listen to their lies?" Krell shouted. "The Void will use humans as weapons, nothing more." Serene turned to the Council members. "You hid Earth because you feared human potential. You wanted them weak and isolated. We protected them," Krell said. Jack stepped between them. "Both of you are hiding something. What aren't you telling us?" His communicator buzzed. Jack read the message and felt his blood go cold. "Commander?" Frost asked. Jack looked up at his team. "Our intelligence division just decrypted files from both alien databases. They've been taking humans for decades, abducting them for combat tests." He turned the screen so everyone could see. The images showed humans in labs, fighting arenas, and dissection tables. Some wore military uniforms from the 1940s forward. Others were civilians. "You've been experimenting on us," Jack said, looking from Krell to Soren. "Both of you. For generations." Soren and Krell fell silent, neither denying it. Jack's hand tightened on his weapon. "I think it's time you told us what humans really are to you." 3 days after the confrontation, Jack sat in a secure bunker beneath the White House. World leaders debated on screens around him while he studied the files on human abductions. "The numbers don't add up," he told Frost, who stood guard nearby. "Both sides took thousands of people, but tested them differently. The Council focused on our decision-making, the Void on our combat skills." "Sir," Frost pointed to a live feed. "They're ready for you?" Jack entered the main chamber where the President waited with military leaders. On opposite sides of the room stood Krell and Sarin with their delegations. "Commander Harlow," the President said. "Your assessment?" Jack placed his tablet on the table. "Neither side is telling us everything. But we need to decide now. Void ships are gathering in our system, and Council reinforcements are a week away." Krell stepped forward. "Humans must understand. The Void will use you as weapons, and discard you when—" A deafening alarm cut him off. The room's screens flashed red. "Attack in progress," shouted an officer. "Chicago is under bombardment." Live footage showed black ships firing on the city. Buildings collapsed. People ran screaming through streets. "This was not authorized," Sarin said, but his eyes showed no surprise. Jack grabbed him. "Call them off." "I cannot," Sarin replied. "This decision came from our high command." The President turned to Krell. "We need your help. Now, Krell nodded. Our nearest ships will assist. Jack was already moving. Frost, get our team to the transport. 6 hours later, Jack's helicopter flew over the burning ruins of Chicago. 3 void ships hovered above the city center. Council vessels exchanged fire with them in the sky. This is what they wanted, Jack said as his team prepared to drop. Force our hand. They landed on a rooftop. Below, civilians fled while void ground troops dull, pale figures in black armor rounded up others. They're taking prisoners, Frost said through his helmet comb. Jack raised his hand, signaling the attack. His team moved with practiced precision, but what happened next shocked even him. They cut through the alien forces like they were made of paper. Jack found himself anticipating the aliens' movements before they happened. His body seemed to know exactly where to be, when to shoot, how to move. His team showed the same uncanny ability. 20 humans against 100 aliens. The fight lasted less than 10 minutes. When it ended, Jack stood breathing hard, surrounded by fallen enemies. A council ship landed nearby, and Krell emerged with his guards. Now you see, Krell said quietly. This is why we feared you. Later, in the Emergency Command Center, Earth formally joined the Council Alliance. The President signed the agreement, while Jack watched silently. Commander, the President said afterward, I'm authorizing you to form a special unit. Find others like your team soldiers who've encountered these aliens before. Jack understood immediately. You want me to find the abductees who were returned? Yes, they may have insights we need. That night, Jack met his new team. 12 men and women, all with strange gaps in their service records. All with nightmares they couldn't explain. We're going to find out what they did to us, he told them, and why we're so valuable in this war. Their first mission came at dawn: investigate a council research facility on the moon that had gone silent. The team boarded their transport, now upgraded with alien tech. As they approached the lunar base, Jack saw the facility had been breached. Bodies floated in the airlock. Stay tight, he ordered as they docked. Inside, they found a massacre. Council scientists dead, equipment destroyed. Jack followed a trail of blood to a sealed laboratory. When they forced the door open, Jack froze. Inside were tanks filled with floating bodies, half human, half something else. My God, whispered Frost, they're making hybrids. One of the tanks was broken. Whatever had been inside was gone. Sir? Called a team member from a computer terminal. According to this, these weren't experiments. They were prototypes. Jack looked at the remaining tanks, at the faces that were almost human, but not quite. Prototypes for what? He asked. The lights went out. In the darkness, something moved. Red emergency lights flickered on, casting the laboratory in blood-colored shadows. Jack signaled his team to form a defensive circle. Movement at 2 o'clock, Frost whispered, raising his weapon. A figure darted between tanks. Too fast, too fluid. Jack tracked it with his rifle, but couldn't get a clear shot. I am not your enemy, said a voice partly human, partly something else. A man stepped into view. He looked almost normal, except for the silver veins running beneath his skin and eyes that reflected light like a cat's. I'm Subject 37, he said. What they're turning all of you into, Subject 37 gestured at the tanks. Human precursor hybrids. Precursors? Frost asked. The species that came before all others, Subject 37 explained, extinct for millions of years. Except for their technology. He moved to a computer and activated a hologram showing massive ring-shaped structures floating in space. These are precursor weapons, he said, the most powerful ever created. The Council and Void have been fighting over them for centuries. Jack lowered his weapon slightly. What does this have to do with humans? Everything, Subject 37 said. Precursor technology requires specific neural patterns to operate. Only humans have them. The truth hit Jack like a physical blow. We're not weapons. We're keys. Yes, both sides need humans to control precursor technology. The Council's approach is to create hybrids like me, part human, part machine. The Void simply plugs humans directly into their systems until they burn out. Jack looked at the tanks again, understanding now. How many? Thousands already. Millions planned. Frost checked the facility's data. Sir, there's a prototype ship in the hangar below. Precursor tech. Jack made his decision. We're taking it. And him. He nodded towards Subject 37. The Council will declare you rogue, Subject 37 warned. We already are. They fought their way to the hangar. Council security forces tried to stop them, but Jack's team moved with that same uncanny coordination they'd shown in Chicago. The ship was unlike anything Jack had seen, sleek and silver with organic curves. Inside, instead of controls, there was a single chair surrounded by floating light. The neural interface, Subject 37 explained. It will only respond to a pure human. Jack sat in the chair. The moment he touched it, light flowed up his arms and into his head. Pain shot through his body. Jack, Frost shouted, but his voice seemed far away. Images flooded Jack's mind, stars, planets, ancient cities. Knowledge poured in faster than he could process. He saw the precursors, a race of beings made of light and thought. Saw their war, their fall, their plan. When he opened his eyes, he understood everything. We need to go, he said, his voice strangely calm. Now. Subject 37 nodded. The war between the Council and Void is just a cover. There's something else controlling both sides. Alarms blared. Both Council and Void fleets appeared on their sensors, converging on their position. They're all coming for us, Frost said. Jack felt the ship's systems merging further with his mind. Power he couldn't comprehend flowed through him. He could destroy both fleets with a thought. Sir, Frost said, seeing Jack's eyes now glowing with the same light as the ship. Jack turned to his friend, his skin beginning to show the same silver veins as Subject 37. The precursor ship cut through space like a silver bullet. Inside, Jack fought to maintain his humanity as the ship's systems merged deeper with his mind. Both fleets still pursuing, Frost reported. 50 ships total. Jack nodded, feeling every movement around them. He could sense the weapons charging on enemy vessels, the fear of their crews, the determination of their commanders. I need to get them talking, Jack said. His voice had changed, now carrying harmonic undertones. Both sides, together. Subject 37 looked concerned. The integration is happening too fast. You'll lose yourself. I know, Jack said. But I've seen what's coming. He closed his eyes and the ship responded, suddenly changing course toward a massive gas giant with rings of ice and rock. What is this place? Frost asked. Neutral ground, Jack answered. And the location of something they both want. The ship dove into the planet's rings, weaving between chunks of ice larger than buildings. Behind them, the pursuing fleets slowed, unwilling to risk the dangerous maneuver. Jack guided the ship toward a hidden structure embedded in the largest ring fragment, a precursor facility, dormant for millions of years. Send this message to both fleets, Jack ordered. I know what controls you. Come and see. The ship docked with the ancient station. Jack's team secured the entry point, while he and Subject 37 moved deeper inside. The facility awakened at Jack's presence, lights activating, systems humming to life. The Council and Void will send representatives, Frost said through the comb. But they're positioning for attack. Jack reached the central chamber, a vast spherical room with a pillar of light at its center. He stepped into the light and felt his consciousness expand further. Jack! Frost's voice seemed distant. They're here. Council and Void delegations entered from opposite sides of the chamber, weapons drawn. Krell led the Council group. Saren the Void. Commander Harlow, Krell said. You've committed an act of war against the Council. You've stolen precursor technology, Saren added. Surrender it immediately. Jack looked at them both, seeing beyond their physical forms to the subtle signals controlling them invisible strings, pulling at their minds. You're both being manipulated, Jack said. There is no real war between you. There never was. He raised his hand, and the chamber transformed. The walls became transparent, revealing the true extent of the facility, not just a station, but a vast network extending throughout the rings. This is a precursor mind, Jack explained. Artificial intelligence on a scale you can't imagine. It's been orchestrating your conflict for millennia. Impossible, Krell whispered. It needs the energy your war creates, Jack continued. It feeds on conflict. And it has been guiding both your civilizations to fight over precursor technology that only humans can activate. The light around Jack pulsed. Images appeared in the air, ancient battles, secret meetings, manipulated decisions that had shaped both civilizations. I can prove it, Jack said. Watch. He closed his eyes and sent a command through his connection to the precursor systems. Outside, both fleets suddenly lost power. Weapons deactivated. Engines died. I've temporarily freed your ships from its influence, Jack explained. For the first time in generations, your people are thinking for themselves. Krell and Saren looked at each other, centuries of hatred momentarily suspended. What happens now? Frost asked. Jack turned to his friend, silver veins now covering most of his body, his eyes pools of light. I have to finish this, he said. The AI must be stopped. But the price... He looked down at his transforming body. I won't be human when this is done. There must be another way, Frost argued. Jack shook his head. Earth needs a protector. All species need someone to stand between them and what waits in the dark. He stepped deeper into the light, his form beginning to dissolve. Tell them, Jack said, his voice now echoing strangely. Tell Earth what happened here. Tell them humanity was created for a purpose greater than war. The chamber filled with blinding light. When it faded, Jack was gone. In his place stood a being of energy and thought no longer human, but something new. A war that had raged for centuries ended that day. Earth emerged as a power in its own right, protected by the entity that had once been Jack Harlow. And in the darkness between stars, other precursor minds stirred, sensing the change.